Hi, I'm Kevin Maguire.
And I'm Chris Maguire.
Welcome to Jack Maguire's Texas Tales. From here on the back porch at the West Pole Ranch, you will hear fascinating and true stories about the people and the history of the Lone Star State.
Jack Maguire, my grandpa and your father, was a Texas original in his own right. He spent his entire life collecting and sharing thousands of fascinating and true stories of Texas, the kinds that make history come alive. He was a writer from the beginning. In high school, he worked for his hometown newspaper, the Denison Herald. From there, he went on to cover events at the Texas State Capitol for the Associated Press and various other newspapers across the country. Jack made a real name for himself as a Texas historian, and in 1976 moved to San Antonio to become executive director of the Institute of Texan Cultures. When he retired in 1985, he moved to Fredericksburg, Texas, where he devoted himself full-time to writing about his passion, the amazing and true tales of Texas history. His books, magazine, and newspaper articles have been published all across the world, and national radio host Larry King even dubbed Jack Mr. Texas.
Yep, your grandpa was a true Texas treasure. This program is a tribute to his legacy of volumes and volumes of unique
and fascinating
and true stories about this land we call Texas. So join us as Sheriff John Ranger and his sidekick Wildcat share with us in their own unique way.
Is that what they call it?
Jack Maguire's Texas Tales.
Jack Maguire's Texas Tales with Sheriff John Ranger and Wildcat.
Wildcat, did you ever think what might happen if two great big old steam locomotives were to crash head on?
Sheriff, where do you come up with some of this stuff you come up with? But as silly as it may sound, there was just such a crash deliberately staged between West and Waco, Crush, Texas. They've tied down the throttles to two locomotives and ran them head on to each other at 50 miles an hour.
Woohoo! And 50,000 people witnessed an event that was amazing.
Will it be on YouTube?
It was 1896.
I know. You know, Sheriff, sometimes I wish I had x-ray vision.
As a matter of fact, it's happened before. There was an 8-year-old boy lived down close to Uvalde. He could go out in the pasture and he'd just look down and walk around and he could see underground pools of water and rivers. Then he'd know where to tell folks to drill their water wells.
Oh, I wonder if that'd work with oil.
Well, I guess folks are just gonna have to tune in and find out. Give me that. Let's deal some more cards. Mine are losers. You're hungry. Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
Talk about it.
Sheriff, it's just hard to beat a good old batch of cornbread and a bowl of chili, Texas chili.
Texas chili. You know, speaking of Texas chili, back in 1895, a Texas ranch cook and a man named Lyman T. Davis developed their very own chili recipe. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Sold it for a nickel a cup or something
A nickel
like
a bowl out of the back of a wagon at the Blue Front Saloon in Corsicana. And that chili's reputation caught on like wildfire.
Well, it turned into Wolf brand chili, didn't it?
Well, yeah, but they started canning their chili in 1921 as Wolf brand chili.
Oh, heck, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Had salesmen going around the country with a wolf in it, I believe, didn't it? Well, had a caged wolf.
They had old Model Ts that they made into a can of chili, and they had a cage on the back with a wolf in it.
Oh, heck.
Yep. And that chili, which was marketed nationally as Wolf brand chili, actually got its unusual name because Davis had a pet wolf named Kaiser Bill.
Oh, heck.
Yep.
Well, why didn't they name it Kaiser Chili?
I don't know. Just the wolf was enough. You know, I'm getting really hungry.
Let's
go
eat.
make
Let's
this
go.
up.
We hope you enjoyed your tiny taste of Texas history through my dad's eyes. You know, there's thousands more stories to share, and each one is more fascinating than the next. John Steinbeck, the American author, said, Texas is a state of mind, but it's more than that. It's a mystique closely approximating a religion. People either passionately love Texas or they passionately hate it.
Well, we love it and its history, and we know you will too.
Thanks for watching. Please join us again for more Jack Maguire's Texas Tales and fascinating and true stories about the people and the history of the Lone Star State. You ready to play?
Game on.
Your break.
We don't need any water jugs on the table. Not with that whiskey.
I don't go shooting anybody.
I'm not. There's no guns. No bullets in here.
This is take 780 Joker.
We're being scolded. You know. I kind of like it better down here.
Hey, I can see what you're doing. Don't put them down there.
Trying to establish that it was during a different time before the electronic age, or
Let me go
might
get.
even predate your birthday.
Trigger finger.